The spinifex pigeon, Geophaps plumifera, also known as the plumed-pigeon or gannaway pigeon, is one of 4 endemic Australian bird species within the genus Geophaps. It occurs within a broader group known as bronzewing pigeons. This species is listed under the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, Red List category of Least Concern. 1. It most frequently occurs in arid and semi-arid habitats containing hummock-forming grasses of the genera Triodia and Plectrachne. John Gould described the spinifex pigeon in 1842, and there have been several revisions at both the species and subspecies level. The current taxonomy was determined through a comprehensive examination of 12 variables in 712 specimens from 54 localities. 3 subspecies are recognized: Eastern spinifex pigeon, Central Eastern white-bellied subspecies, Geophaps plumifera leucogaster, Northwestern spinifex pigeon, Northwestern white-bellied subspecies, Geophaps plumifera, Pilbara spinifex pigeon, brown-bellied western subspecies, Geophaps plumifera ferruginea, Geophaps p. Subsp. Plumifera is found in the arid areas of northwestern and northern Australia. Geophaps plumifera subsp. Leucogaster inhabits central Australia and northwestern Queensland, and Geophaps plumifera subsp. Ferruginea is found in the Pilbara, Western Australia. The divergence of the subspecies recognized has been linked to isolation caused by aridity from climatic oscillations during the Pleistocene. It is thought that G.P. plumifera was originally present in the interior of Australia and much of North and Central Australia in a less arid period. Subsequent aridity is thought to have resulted in the isolation of a western group, now recognized as G.P. ferruginea, followed by a later split of a northern group, currently recognized as G.P. leucogaster. The later split thought to have resulted in less divergence. Subsequent oscillations in climate are thought to have resulted in a degree of hybridization between the groups, with a subsequent split leading to the presence of brown-bellied birds in the western Kimberley and residual genes of brown-bellied birds in the western portion of the Central Eastern white-bellied group. The spinifex pigeon is a small and compact pigeon, which weighs 80 to 110 grams, has a mean body length of 200 to 235 millimeters, and has their wingspan of 300 to 350 millimeters. Males are slightly larger than females, and generally difficult to visually differentiate. The plumage is distinctively rufous-brown with thin black bars on the wings and back. The forehead, sides of crown and ear covers are gray and the bill is black. The facial markings are bold and distinctive. A bright red facial mask is bordered by a black supercilium and mustachial stripe. A white band extends from the chin to behind the eye, and the throat is black. A white stripe is present on the breast, and the legs and feet are gray. There is no seasonal variation in plumage. There is substantial geographical variation in the color of the plumage on the belly, which is reflected in the separation of the western brown-bellied birds from the other subspecies recognized. The spinifex pigeon occurs throughout much of arid and semi-arid northern and central Australia. It lives in arid and semi-arid stony habitats on rocky hills and mountainous terrain, gorges, dry rocky creek beds and nearby gibber plains. It occupies environments which often experience extreme heat during the day, extreme cold during the night, high seasonal fluctuations in rainfall, and extended periods of severe drought. This species is most often encountered in habitats containing hummock-forming grasses of the Triodia and Plectrachne genera, which are colloquially referred to as spinifex grasses. These grasses may form extensive areas of grassland and comprise the understory component of low open savanna and woodlands of desert oak, Alocasuarina deceniana, eucalypts and mulga, Acacia annura. Although strong associations with spinifex are reported, in some areas it is rarely sighted in spinifex and prefers other types of sparse grassland. Presence around urbanized areas is rare, however does occur in natural habitats occupied by humans and is reported to have foraged on food provided to domestic fowl on at least one occasion. Spinifex pigeons do not travel long distances to water, requiring permanent water in close proximity to foraging areas. Both natural and man-made water sources are exploited, including waterholes and watercourses and stock drinking troughs. Areas. Foraging mostly occurs early in the morning and late in the afternoon during cooler periods of the day in close proximity to water sources. Spinifex pigeons are weak long-distance flyers, being more suited to vertical and short horizontal movements, which aid in escape from predators in preferred habitats such as steep hills and gorges. Approached birds are generally bold and may remain still until approached at very close distances. They are a predominantly terrestrial species and rely on running movements and the camouflage provided by their rufous plumage against the desert sand and rocks to escape predators, rather than evasion by flight, and will frequently run away when approached rather than take to the wing. At the nest, adults have been recorded to respond defensively in captivity and have been recorded to abandon the eggs or hatchlings as a decoy to predators in the wild. The spinifex pigeon has a complex repertoire of calls, including advertising calls, a display call, contact calls, alarm calls and threat calls, hands up. In general, calls range from a soft high-pitched coo or kulu coo to a deep coo rrr. Spinifex pigeon inhabit harsh desert environments and must be able to cope with substantial water and heat stress. Their geographic range includes one of the hottest places on Earth, Marble Bar, Western Australia, where air temperatures exceed 37.8 degrees Celsius up to 160 days of the year. Hydration is achieved by drinking and metabolic water production, as water intake from food sources is low and maintenance of positive water balance is crucial due to the importance of evaporative cooling for thermoregulation at high ambient temperatures. Accordingly, spinifex pigeons generally occur in close proximity to permanent water sources. The spinifex pigeon, Geophaps plumifera, also known as the plumed-pigeon or gannaway pigeon, is one of 4 endemic Australian bird species within the genus Geophaps. It occurs within a broader group known as bronzewing pigeons. This species is listed under the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, Red List category of Least Concern. 1. It most frequently occurs in arid and semi-arid habitats containing hummock-forming grasses of the genera Triodia and Plectrachne. John Gould described the spinifex pigeon in 1842, and there have been several revisions at both the species and subspecies level. The current taxonomy was determined through a comprehensive examination of 12 variables in 712 specimens from 54 localities. 3 subspecies are recognized: Eastern spinifex pigeon, Central Eastern white-bellied subspecies, Geophaps plumifera leucogaster, Northwestern spinifex pigeon, Northwestern white-bellied subspecies, Geophaps plumifera, Pilbara spinifex pigeon, brown-bellied western subspecies, Geophaps plumifera ferruginea, Geophaps p. Subsp. Plumifera is found in the arid areas of northwestern and northern Australia. Geophaps plumifera subsp. Leucogaster inhabits central Australia and northwestern Queensland, and Geophaps plumifera subsp.